This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of the Star Wars novel Outbound Flight. And this is honestly one of the most interesting novels in Star Wars. This is one to serve as sort of a prequel to both the Thrawn trilogy and the Yuuzhan Vong storyline, which will be the next Star Wars books, unless I pick up one of the new releases that I'll be reviewing. And I'm going to be the beginning of that series with the book Vector Prime later today. But going back to this novel, this book really is interesting and once again puts Thrawn in his basic God mode tack strategy where he is outmaneuvering everyone, putting everyone in positions where they'll do exactly what he wants, and uses this to defeat all of his enemies. It also is really interesting to see other characters in this, and there is a nice appearance from Obi-Wan and Anakin, who Palpatine does all it takes to get them off of the outbound flight because he wants to execute Sabayoth and the rest of the Jedi, so they would not only go in anger and potentially cause an attack from the group we would soon learn, well, they would learn in the universe would be the Yuuzhan Vong, but they just know are out there for now, and that would be just a big problem for Palpatine's plans, but also it's a opportunity to kill a bunch of Jedi, especially before they go and are able to spread throughout the galaxy. And even the Vong weren't a threat at all, he would definitely still wanted to get them all killed, and it is interesting. You get to see for the first time Jor's Sabayoth and not his clone Joruus Sabayoth. It's interesting to see him here and see that the clone was just basically a crazier version of the already pretty unstable guy. And although cloning usually does, of a force sensitive at least, cause him to be crazy, it just made already crazy guy like double crazy. And Sabayoth here is showing the exact same dark side tendencies he did inside of the Thrawn trilogy, and realistically, Sabayoth could have survived and would have been more or less the same person. And yeah, honestly, that is interesting, and I still really do enjoy this novel, and I think it is so interesting to see everything. Thrawn's definitely the best part, and as always, he is basically playing everyone. But there's a cool appearance from George Curtis, who does appear in a few other Star Wars novels and changes a bunch over them. It's interesting to see him there. You get to see a few of his allies, and you get to see how Palpatine is introduced to Thrawn. The character of Dorian was pretty interesting to see in here too, and one of the things I'm curious to see is if he ever fully figures out that Sidious is Palpatine. I'm assuming he has to if he serves Palpatine after the Republic becomes the Empire, and I'm pretty sure he does. So if he does do that, then he obviously has to figure it out. But still, honestly, I really did enjoy this book and definitely recommend for you to read it. And I would definitely recommend for you to read the actual book since there is an audiobook, but it is an abridged one, meaning they cut out a lot of stuff and try to make it shorter, which is honestly just the dumbest thing ever. I think that all abridged audiobooks are extremely stupid, even if you're just going to use it to kind of read through a book for school. It's probably the only reason you probably do it is if you're trying to get a faster version of it, but why would you do that when you could, especially with really good books, be able to skip over stuff? And I would rather just get the full book, which is why I didn't have this in my initial read through of Legends books, which I ended a few weeks ago, and I put it aside for a read through of a bunch of Legends books I wanted to read, and this is the first on my list. And I wanted to also go through New Jedi Order, which I took forever to collect all the books, but I have them all now. And as I said, I'm starting the first book in it later today. I really am just excited to be reading these books and think they do such a great job. This is also one of my last Timothy Zahn Star Wars books that I have not read. He's just an amazing author, and although I was tempted to get it, I ultimately didn't get it. I saw when I was out yesterday a signed copy of one of Zahn's Star Wars books for sale. It was about $100, but personally, I just didn't want to be spending that much money on a book at this time, and it was a book I already had. I believe it was Vision of the Future. It might have been Spectre of the Past, but it was one of the Thrawn duology books. But yeah, honestly, I still really do love Zahn and his works, and the main reason I didn't get that is because I just want to spend $100. If it was a little cheaper, I probably would have got it. But still, I want to know what you think about this book. Please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.